Good morning. My name is Christina Felchlin, Support Manager at Ledgeview Partners. I would like to welcome you to this month's Ledgeview Dynamic CRM User Group webinar. Our highlighted topic for today is marketing. For our agenda today, we are going to start off our webinar with a quick look at marketing. What are the out-of-the-box features, demo on how to create a marketing list, and a quick campaign. We will then move into the pre-submitted user questions. I'll briefly talk about our marketing services and then let you know of our upcoming webinars. Onto the housekeeping items. To ensure the best audio quality for all attendees, we have everyone on listen-only mode. If you have a question, please submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. I know we typically don't have much time for questions, but we'd still love to hear from you during today's presentation. If time does not permit, we promise to follow up offline. Lastly, today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All registered attendees will receive an email this afternoon with an access link to the recording as well as the presentation slides. Many of you have an ad hoc or comprehensive support agreement with Ledgeview. With any of our support agreements, your CRM power user has the ability to ask questions like, how do I, or why did this happen? When you contact our support team, please call the support line at 920-560-6888 or email us at crmsupport@ledgeviewpartners.com. Please do not email the support consultants directly, as we want to make sure we're getting to your question as quickly as we can. And by sending your request into our general queue, we can accomplish that. Also, at Ledgeview, we keep record of the authorized users for each account. Authorized users are the individuals who can request changes or ask questions on behalf of your company. This helps control the hours, costs spent on support requests by going through a few designated individuals. If you want to know who the authorized users are for your company or change, add, remove users, please call me, Christina Felchlin, at 920-560-3079 or email me at kfelchlin@ledgeviewpartners.com. Also, we want to let everyone know that our offices will be closed on Good Friday, March 25th. Our support team will return to work on your cases on Monday, March 28th. Before we get into the content, I want to launch a quick poll. To best understand what version all of our attendees are using, we want you to let us know what version of Dynamic CRM you're currently using. So if you can please select one. We have Dynamic CRM 4.0, Dynamic CRM 2011, 2013, 2015, or 2016. We appreciate the feedback we have. All right. So it looks like the results are Dynamic CRM 2015, followed closely with CRM 2016 and 2011 then. Great, thank you for providing that feedback. Now let's get into the content. I am pleased to bring back Michael Dodd, Support Consultant with Ledgeview. Michael?
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Christina. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was off of mute. Hope everybody has recovered from the daylight savings time. Apparently I haven't quite yet. But let's go ahead and spring into some great marketing information. Our first section is we're going to touch on is the marketing entity, which is right out of the box for Dynamic CRM. It's used primarily for the sales team versus the marketing team. And the reason for that is that the sales team usually isn't sending out lots of emails on a daily basis or as many as a marketing team. It's more designed for that. Also, marketing list management, which we're going to touch on a little bit later and show you how to set those up, but that's an excellent tool of the out-of-the-box feature. Also, low-volume, simple, single-channel campaigns. Really what that means is you're sending out through email or phone calls or letters, so a single channel, one of those options, and it's low volume. You're not sending out a high amount of those. One-off email sends, like I said before, the sales team usually isn't sending a lot of emails. It's usually a one-off or to a mass amount of people, and there's also no results tracking, whereas some of the third-party integration does offer that. And also simple event management. As I mentioned before, there are some third-party integrations. They do offer event participation with more results tracking and statistics on that. But for the out-of-the-box feature, it's really more of a simplified version. Traditionally, in Microsoft Dynamics CRM, the marketing functionality only scratches the surface, while traditional marketing automation products provide wide-ranging business processes automation for marketers. One of my favorite tools of the out-of-the-box function for dynamic CRM is the marketing list. And these can really be created by accounts, contacts, and leads. So you really have some great options of how you want to send out and utilize that marketing list. There's two different types. You can use a static list or a dynamic list. A dynamic list is created off a set of parameters. So much like how we've gone through advanced find on setting those parameters to create a view, this is the same thing for dynamic, meaning the list is going to ever change based on those parameters. So if a new account meets those criteria, it's going to be moved into that marketing list. Static, it's a stagnant list. It's what you add to it for contacts, accounts, and leads, and it's only going to change by manually updating that information. Next, we're going to jump into CRM, and I'm going to demo a couple marketing lists. We're going to do dynamic and static. To start out with, for dynamic, we're actually going to go based on a marketing manager. They like to put together a list of accounts that have an annual revenue over $500,000 or over, and have a one opportunity in the last year that has an actual revenue of $10,000 or more. So let's jump into CRM. From 2015 Update 1 and 2016 CRM, you can go from this main drop-down list, and we're going to go to Marketing, and then we are going to go to Marketing Lists. And then once this loads, we'll click on the plus sign New to create a new marketing list. Once this comes up, we're going to name this Top Tier Client Marketing. And we're going to change our list type to dynamic. Our purpose, we're going to be sending out emails. Very important, we're going to be targeting the accounts. And those are the main items that we need to make sure we have in the marketing list. Once you save this, it's going to allow you to add members to the marketing list. So if we click this plus sign, when it's set to dynamic and locked in as that, it's going to open up a filtering screen much like you see in Advanced Find. So one of our parameters was annual revenue is greater than or equal to $500,000. Our next two criteria is focused on opportunity. So we want to go to opportunities related to accounts, and then we want to look at the actual close date. And we want to see if that was in the last 12 months. So where X equals 12. And then we also want to say our actual revenue is greater than or equal to $10,000. Now there's a couple different options. If you know this is what you want, you just want to set it as use query, you can go ahead and click that right away. We're going to click find so we see what our results and what our marketing list is going to be before we even put that information in. So right now we've got 10 accounts that meet this criteria, so that's really quite good. So we're going to click use query. Now it's generated our marketing list, and our members show right here in the member section of the marketing list. Now we're going to jump back to our presentation, and we're going to look at the static marketing list option. The marketing coordinator would like you to put together a marketing list of contacts that attended the trade show in Dallas. The sales reps that attended that trade show, they kept a list of the contacts and they emailed that list to you. So if we go back to CRM, right from our screen that we're on the marketing list, we can just click New. We're going to label this one Trade Show in Dallas. And we're going to set the list type to static. Purpose again will be emails. This time we're targeting contacts. So then we'll click Save. Now that this is saved, we're going to click plus, and it's going to give us a few different options of how to manage our members. We're going to utilize the lookup field. And in your CRM, you're probably going to have a lot more than 26 contacts. In ours, as this being a test environment, we don't have as many contacts. So we simply know that Art, Danette, and Jim were the ones that attended, so we're going to add them to the marketing list by selecting them and then clicking Add. That's going to add them to the members. And now we have this set. You can always go back at a later time and manually add them in as well. Two other great features of the marketing entity of out of the box are quick campaigns and campaigns. Now obviously they sound very similar, and they are. The main difference between the two is that a quick campaign can only generate one activity. And that would be an email, so a mass email send, an appointment, letter, just those types of campaigns, fax and other. There's a couple different options there. You're going to want to utilize an existing marketing list for the target of the quick campaign. Now the tricky part with quick campaigns is you have to generate the quick campaign from the marketing list entity. So if you go into the marketing list, on the right hand side there will be a quick campaign section. Click plus and it'll bring up the quick campaign wizard, and we're going to go through that in a little bit here. For campaigns, that can actually be used to generate several campaign activities. So you can do an email campaign and an appointment campaign activities, all in that one campaign to the same marketing list. Again, utilize existing marketing lists for the target. Now we're going to jump back into CRM and we're going to go through a quick campaign. Our marketing manager, again, would like to put together a quick campaign to send out an email blast to that top tier accounts list that we just put together. The activity owner will be the marketing manager, so in that case it will be me. And we want to utilize a previously created email template. And the sender of the email will be the marketing manager. So we'll jump back into CRM. Under marketing, again, we want to go in the marketing list. So we're going to jump back to marketing lists. We're going to our top tier client marketing. And over here next to quick campaigns, we'll click plus. This will bring up the wizard and briefly explain it. Click next, and then we'll just come up with our name. And we're just going to name this top tier invitation. Click next. Again, we're going to set this as an email activity type. I'm going to have all the activities with this assigned to myself, and then we're going to close out those emails activities right here on the bottom after the emails are sent. So then we'll click next. I want to make sure I have these come from myself as the marketing manager. And now we're going to use a template. And I want to briefly touch on an email template. An email template is something that you can set up that can be used over and over again for various campaigns, email sends, various things like that. That way it'll save you time in the long run when sending out these mass emails. So we'll check mark that box, and then we're going to click on this icon. And because we're using accounts, and that's who we're targeting, we're going to use the account template special invitation. Then we'll click select, and then click next. If we were sending this out, we would click create, and it would generate these emails and send them off. Again, because ours is a test environment, we don't actually have their email addresses, so it will not go out. So we'll click cancel here. We're going to go back to our presentation. Now I'd like to jump into some user questions that were submitted. Our first question from a user is, we are using marketing lists to keep track of which of our customers are attending the user group meetings that we host. Are we using this feature correctly? This was an excellent question. And in terms of out-of-the-box functionality for marketing, this is a fantastic way of utilizing marketing lists. What they're doing is they're creating a marketing list with the name of the event, adding the members that attended, and then you can export that information out into an Excel spreadsheet as well. Now, integrated third-party marketing tools will actually have an event participation tool. That way you can track the attendees of events and get statistics that way. And that's a really great way of doing it. For out of the box, this customer is using it in a great way. Our next question is, how do I create an article or email notification for task/follow-up weekly or several times a week? This is a great question, and we're going to go into this and show you how it can be done through a workflow. But there are two ways to accomplish this. If the reminder is for a set amount of time, meaning you want to let the person a reminder once a week for 3 weeks, the workflow is a good option. But if you're doing this for recurring every week forever, the best option would be a plugin. And that's because the way we're going to set up this workflow is it's going to send a reminder 7 days after creation, and then 7 days later another email, and you would have to continually do this and probably create about 500 different ones of that for a larger duration or forever. So a plugin is a much better route to go. So back in here, we're going to go to our drop down and we're going to go into settings and then processes. And just for the sake of time, I am actually going to bring up this previously created workflow that shows this information. Go ahead and expand this. Again, because it's bringing up a process, it does take a little bit of time to generate. We set this to run behind the scenes, and it's going to be triggered when a record is created, so when a task is created. So it's going to time out after 7 days. So once the record is created, after 7 days, it will time out and then send an email message. And that email message can be whatever you'd like it to say. A reminder to follow up on this task. This task needs to be completed, however you'd like to say that. Then following that, we have another timeout 7 days later, and you can send a new type of email. Once you're done and have this created, just remember to click Activate, so this process will actually run for you. I took a screenshot of that information that we just went over for further reference at a later time if you decide to create this. Our next question from a user is, how do I change the filtering for global search? And if you're in 2016 or 2015, you know in the upper section of CRM, there's a text box, and that's global search. So we're going to go back into CRM, and right here is your global search. So the way to change this is to go into Settings, Customization, and you're going to have to change the view for global search for each entity you're looking for. So if you allow it for accounts, contacts, leads, and opportunities, you'll need to change the quick find view filtering for each one of those entities. For this circumstance, we're actually just going to touch on accounts. So we're going to click on the drop down of entities and then account, and then go into views. And while this brings up all the views within CRM for accounts, it's going to take a little bit of time to generate. And then once it comes up, you're going to want to scroll to the bottom and look for the quick find. So we're going to double click and open this. It's going to bring up all of the columns that are associated with that view. Again, it's pulling in all that information, so it does take a little bit of time. And if you want to edit the filtering criteria, just click this Edit Filter Criteria button. Let's say I only want to show active accounts. I'm going to go to Status equals Active. So now my global search will only show me the active accounts, since I'm not worried about inactive accounts that I'm not working with. And then click OK. Click Save and Close. We'll just give this a minute to catch up. Save and close. And then don't forget to click Publish All Customizations, because if you don't publish all of your customizations, it won't actually go through into CRM so you can see your change. Back to our slideshow. Our next question is, any ideas on how to connect CRM to Exchange for users without CRM licenses? All they should be able to do is view contacts, nothing else. This is possible, and it would be done by someone with a CRM syncing the contacts from CRM to Exchange, and then sharing those contacts through Exchange with the other users. We highly recommend contacting support here at Ledgeview Partners if you're going to pursue this option, because we can help to mitigate and lessen many of the issues that could come up with this as much as we possibly can. Our next question from a user is, anyone have problems with CRM when upgrading to Windows 10? with the CRM add-in for Outlook. Now, with the CRM add-in for Outlook, there are issues that come up, and it can depend on which Outlook client version you are using, what your CRM version is using, and there could be many other factors that the support team can help with. But what I really want to touch on is understanding which Outlook client version to download for the version you're on to get the best functionality. So if you're on Dynamics CRM 2016, you want to use the 2016 Outlook client. If you're in 2015 and you are online, you're going to want to use the 2015 Outlook client with Update 1.1, so it'll be 2 downloads, or Update 0.2 for on-premise. Now for 2013, Microsoft just made a change with Update Rollup 4, so this is now has functionality with Windows 10. Our next question is, this customer would like photos of contacts on the main contact page, and they're wondering why there's no photo field. There is a photo field, and let me jump into CRM, and I'm going to show you exactly how to add a picture to a contact. So from CRM, we're going to go to Sales, we're going to go to Contacts, and we're going to open up Leota Dillard. And it's going to load. And then you see this gray with a white silhouette. If you click on that, it's going to give you an option to upload a picture from your computer. Click on Browse. I'm going to add my picture here. So click OK. And then it has my picture. You'll want to format this correctly before you add this, so it's in the right format and right side up, so to speak, so I'm not looking at an angle there. Our next question, I apologize, it looks like we got a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Our PowerPoint's just going to restart again. I truly apologize for that issue. Let me just bring this back up. So as you can see, sometimes there are a little bit of delays. So I'm just going to restart the slideshow, and I'll get us right back to where we are. In the meantime, I'd like to say that the marketing tools within CRM are fantastic. It's just understanding how they work and being able to utilize them to the best of their ability. And thank you again for submitting these excellent questions today. It's really given us an opportunity to answer your great questions and give you some more enlightened information as users of the CRM product. We're just bringing up PowerPoint here, so this should be coming up just here in a second.
While Michael's waiting for his PowerPoint to come up, I'd just like to launch another poll we have. Since our highlighted topic this month is marketing, we're just curious to know what you use for your marketing automation tool, if you have one. So if you could, answer the poll we have out here. Do you currently use an out-of-the-box dynamic CRM marketing tool, CRM integrated marketing automation, standalone marketing software like Constant Contact or Vocus, or none? If you could vote, we'll like to see the results here. And hopefully Michael's presentation can come up during that time, and we'll be ready to get back to it.
Yep, we'll be ready to go right as that poll closes. Thank you very much, Christina.
So it looks like the results are in, and 40% CRM integrated marketing automation, like a Click Dimensions or something like that. And then it's tied with standalone marketing and none. Great. Thank you for that feedback. All right, Michael, I'll let you get back to your presentation there.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for answering that poll. That really helps us being able to deliver great content for you. Our next question is, are there any websites or books recommended for reference? Microsoft has some excellent ebooks and videos for learning more about CRM and how to utilize it the best of its ability. I left a link here for everyone, so if you want to view this webinar in the future, you have that link. We also highly recommend signing up for the Ledgeview Partners blogs as we continually post new tips and tricks. A lot of those tips and tricks will come from these webinars. Speaking of the webinar, we do record these and we do post them online. So if you ever want to review them for more information, continuous learning, that's a great option. And utilizing Google to look for specific items. So if you're running into an error or a specific item that you'd like to learn more about, you can utilize Google to find more information about it and look at the various blogs that are out there. Our next question from a user is, how do I carry over fields to the opportunity when qualifying a lead? This is speaking to when you click qualify a lead, it creates an account, contact, and opportunity. So we want to carry over some fields from the lead screen over to the opportunity screen without having to recreate the wheel or re-enter the information. And that's an excellent and very common question. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up CRM and we're going to walk through how to do this. We're going to go back to our customization page. And a step before this is to make sure you have the correct fields. So the field in the lead section, you want to have a corresponding field in the opportunity, and you want to make sure this same type of field. Meaning if it's a option set in the lead, you want to make sure that's an option set in the opportunity, and it's the same option set. That way you can map them over. So if we click back on Customize the System, just wait for this to reload for us. So then we'll click on Entities, and we're going to go to Lead since this is where we're starting from. So if we go to Lead, and then we're going to click on One-to-N relationships. That simply means one-to-many relationships, which is what is utilized for mapping. So it's going to bring up all the one-to-many relationships for leads. Again, that sometimes can take a little bit of time if there are quite a few, and leads usually do have a large amount. We'd recommend filtering by related entity. That way you can look for in order opportunity. So we have it already set in here, so we don't need to create a new one-to-many relationship. I'm going to double click into this and then click in mappings. This is going to show all the items that are mapped from lead to opportunity. So and I highly recommend looking at the display names for source and target. Source means lead, target would be the opportunity. So what you're pulling the information from and what you're pulling it to. If you don't see the information in here, click New, and it will bring up a new field mapping. And right here, again, recommend going by display name. And what we're going to do for our purposes for this demonstration is we're going to look to take the company name to the account name. And in this case, we're actually going to look for what's called the parent account for lead. And that's this one right here. So we're going to select that. And then we're going to filter, also sort in our opportunity section, and we're going to grab account. These are both lookup fields. So if you can see on the far right here, type is lookup. And then in target, the type is lookup as well. So we're able to map these two fields. So we'll click OK. It's going to create the field mapping. Now it's going to be added into our list here. So then we'll just click Save and Close. And then don't forget to publish all of your customizations. And we'll go back into our presentation. Our next question is, I have a list of accounts on a marketing list. How do I pull the contacts for those accounts? I'm going to start this one off with some clarification. You can do this within CRM by pull the primary contact for an account. Unfortunately, you cannot utilize CRM to pull all contacts into the marketing list unless you're pulling it based on a contact instead of account. Now, you can contact CRM contact Ledgeview Partners to see if we can come up with a specific type of customization that will help you with this. So to start off with, we're going to go back into CRM. And we're going to go back in to customize the system. I highly recommend as a previous step to this to understanding how the marketing list works. With the marketing list, the way it's set up on the form is it's pulling the My Active Accounts view into the form grid under Members. So that's the view that it's pulling into. And then there's an option to also expand this information, and that's going to pull it from the associated account view. So we're going to want to update both of those views. So either way we're looking within the marketing list, you're going to see the information that you'd like. So again, we're going to go into Entities, Account, and then we're going to go into Views. These views, again, there's a large number for accounts, so it does take usually a little bit of time to pull those. So we want to look at My Active Accounts. So we're going to open this. And then once this opens, it's going to show all the columns that you currently have. We want to add a column for primary contact. So we go to Add Columns. And we're going to set the record type to primary contact, which is down here at the bottom. And then let's say we want to grab the primary contact's email address or their phone number, as their primary contact name is already in the listing. So we're going to scroll down to email. Email address, and then we click Save and Close, and this will update on the main page. You'll want to do the same exact information for the associated account view.
All right. Thank you for the great content, and thank you users for all those great questions. At Ledgeview Partners, we do offer marketing services. We have a marketing analysis services where we define and create marketing goals and objectives. During this design service, we can align marketing and sales processes with technologies to drive marketing and business decision making. We also have services for installation, integration, and training of marketing automation tools. Furthermore, we can assist you with marketing template creation. If you are interested in learning more about the marketing services, you can contact your account executive or visit our website. Click on Services and then click Marketing Automation Technologies. I also have a few slides comparing CRM to a marketing automation tool, and these are just for reference. We are not going to cover those today. If you do want to view these slides after the presentation today, they will be available in the link that we send you. And then lastly, at Ledgeview, we strive to keep our customers educated on all the latest CRM features. In addition to our Ledgeview Partner CRM User Group webinar, we have a few other webinars that may be of interest to you. Coming up next week, turning your website into a lead generating machine, scheduled for Wednesday, March 23rd. In this webinar, we'll teach you everything you need to know about how to use your website to attract potential buyers and hopefully stop missing opportunities to capture their information so you can convert them into potential buyers. In a marketer's world today, it's all about the leads. We spend our days focused on how to generate enough leads to fill our sales funnel, and it's not always an easy task. And as you might know, all leads are not created equal. Leads from your website definitely hold a higher value, so we will be going over some tips and best practices on how to systematize your website for lead generation. You want to stay productive wherever you go. You want to work faster, find exciting new ways to communicate, build deeper insights, and share information using your favorite devices. Simply put, you want to have business tools that work as hard as you do. In another upcoming webinar, 7 Ways to Elevate Your Business with Office 365, held on March 30th at 11:30 to 12. Join us for this webinar and learn about 7 ways to elevate your business with Microsoft Office 365. Certified product experts will take a deep dive into elements of Office 365 such as OneNote, OneDrive, Delve, Sway, and more to show you how to grow efficiently, connect with your customers, and do business anywhere. And of course, our next CRM user group meeting is Tuesday, April 19th at 11:30 a.m. Central. During our April meeting, we'll highlight a CRM feature, give a tip or two, and then answer your questions. If you'd like to register for one of these upcoming events, go to ledgeviewpartners.com, click on the green circle named News and Events, look on the right side under Upcoming Webinars. When you find the webinar you're interested, click on the More Information and Register link to sign up. All webinars are recorded and available on demand. If you register after the live webinar date, you will immediately have access to the on-demand recording. On behalf of Michael and I and all of us at Ledgeview Partners, we'd like to thank you for spending time with us today. Have a great rest of your day.